You been down? This is Freda. What's your channel's name?
RV Free, Freeda, like RV Free, duh. I know, I thought that up in the middle of the night. I don't know. But my channel, how long has it been going? You know what? On election day in 2016, on election day is when my house sold, and I bought this RV for $500, and I fixed it up, put solar on it and everything. That was 4 years ago, right? So it's 4 years ago on November 16th.
But
so
it's
now
paid for itself.
Yeah, it sure has. And it hasn't been any big serious problems. I had to get the brakes and the rotors and that all fixed, and that was scary driving that. Let me tell you, coming down the hill and going like that. But I'll tell you, I love this life.
So how long you been down here at Quartzsite?
Well, I was up in Flagstaff, and the day before it was supposed to snow, it was time to leave. So that was about a month ago. Seasman, come here. Come on, this is my Seasman. He's 10 years old, this boy. This is my Seasman, and he's noisy. He's loud.
Yeah, she used to have a place back east, and she planted a garden and everything.
I was in Anaheim, California.
Oh, Anaheim. Well, it
right
was.
by Disneyland, where I was really happy.
Oh, yeah.
It was the happiest place on earth.
Yeah, I bet. Well, like I said, she's going to be, where you be going headed next to?
You know what? I kind of hadn't decided. I kind of take one thing at a time. If I was going to just settle for a while, which I have, because I have kind of, after 3 years of going to Alaska and Florida and all over the U.S., last year I decided to just set for a while and pay off some bills. And, you know, if you sit, that's the nice thing about this. You just sit and you pay off your bills and stuff. You don't drive so much, and you just enjoy where you are. And so you know, you can always survive. And then now I'm going to be doing some things. After talking to you, I kind of want to go up through Nevada. On my bucket list was Utah, and I haven't really seen anything above Vegas in Nevada. And I've been wanting to go to Idaho. That's kind of on my bucket list.
Well, Idaho's beautiful.
But the big thing on my bucket list was Alaska. I stayed all summer long in Seward, Alaska. I enjoyed every minute of that. I turned 70 there in Seward, Alaska. And people I didn't even know when I got there. I had so many friends throw me this huge fire.
Well, if I can get out at my age and she can travel and get her age
70
by herself,
I think I'm 73.
there's no reason for people to sit around and wait for God to take them.
That's right.
Get up, get off, and go.
If there's any way you can do it, you
Yeah.
know. I took care of my husband, held his hand the day he died. I took care of my mom. I set my sons free.
Well,
and
she sounds like me. So I stayed with my wife till she passed. And then about a year later, I sat moping around the house and woke up one day and says, I can do better than this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I would have probably died. No one would have known it for a month in that house.
Yeah,
and I always think, boy, I'll tell you, there was such a sense of freedom when I never was scared. Everybody said, wow, you drive this car like it's drive this RV like it's a car. And I go, well, that's because I used to drive school buses, great big long school buses when I was in my 20s. So I drove, was in the bus rodeo, and did all kinds of fun things.
Well, a lot of people, they sit at home, I can't, and make a million excuses.
Yeah.
Start doing small trips, and then maybe you like bigger ones.
Yeah. You know what happens when I go back to Southern California? Well, not where I lived, it was in an older neighborhood, and it got really old after 47 years. But some of the people, they live in these $1 million houses, and I'm trying not to be prejudiced against people that have to have. It's just harder for me now going back, you know.
Oh yeah.
You know, watching them just.
Their opinions and your opinions don't match anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not fun for me. I see, why do they work so hard just to have all that stuff? You know?
Well, I live in a a gated community. They're all old people, and the biggest excitement is they've sent the wrong UPS package.
Yeah, yeah. And that's where you and I both could have ended up like that and never gotten out and seen anything.
Well, now I didn't sell my home. Frida sold hers, but I kept mine, and I just leave it there to a place to go back to. And you know, you don't have to sell your home, but if you do, because like I said, my kids want it, so I just left it to them. But when I die, but you don't have to. You don't want, if you don't want to, don't do it.
Well, one of the things that happened is when I went to leave, I sold my house within 3 months. I'd lived in there for 47 years. So my husband and I were like a bit of a collector. You know,
Sound like me. I'm a hoarder.
I know you are. We were on the borderline, but maybe. But I had a lot of things to do, and luckily I had some friends, and my son came out. And I had 3, right across the road was a storage units.
Yeah.
And so I had 3 huge 10 by whatever storages. And so my son offered to come out, and because I wanted to go to Alaska. I was just going to pay the storage for the whole time. So my son says, well, I'll come out and I'll help you. And that was like the best 20 days he was out here. It was the best. I will always love him. Well, a lot for that, because and then what happened is he went back to Tennessee, and I had a storage shed built, 12 by 32 storage, you know, those kind you see on the side of the road. With this one has a little porch on the front, and so I had that built so I could put my husband's art and just some things I couldn't part with. I parted with a lot, trust me. Sold a lot on eBay and everything. And so some things I can't part with. I mean, I couldn't part with. I think now, after 4 years, I'm going to go back there. It's going to be easier going through some of that stuff. But it's been sitting back there in that shed. So I'm not done yet. I haven't completely gotten rid of anything.
Well, that's one.
And I would never want to live in the shed or even be
but that's one reason it's easy to just lock the door on the house and take off.
Yeah.
Because it would take me years to sort through that stuff.
Yeah.
And I ain't got that many years left. I don't want to spend it saying, well, do I want that? Maybe not.
Yeah.
No, I'll just lock the door and take off.
Well, the problem I'm having is that, there's a lot of things like a glass vase or something. I just love that thing, and I can't really take it here. And I don't know why. I don't know why. That's a hard problem. You have to work it out. Even if I sold it on eBay, I'd probably be liking it better. And I did sell a lot of things. But one of the hardest problems I have is that my husband was a paper mache artist. And he made some really cool things that I really enjoyed. Not everything, so I sold some of those things off. But some things that he made are so different, unique, and nobody does that kind of art. And I loved it so much. So I have that in the loft of this house back there. But I have to figure out what to do with it, you know. I have to figure out
Freda,
what to do with it.
Give it to the kids like I did most of my stuff.
My kids don't want it, though.
Then give it to a museum.
I don't even think the museum wants it.
Well,
you know, it's a unique kind of thing. You can go to geezerart.com and see all of his artwork, because we were Mr. and Mrs. Geezer Art for 10 years on YouTube. We had a whole YouTube station, and then I got my own YouTube channel. Well, but that's where all his art is. So if anybody wants to buy anything, let me know.
You can get a hold of.
I'm doing a plug.
How can you get a hold of Freda then?
You can leave a message in one of my videos. It's probably the easiest way, because I look at every single message.
And that video, and then that YouTube channel is?
Well, if you leave a message in RV Freda in one of my videos, I'll get it. The Geezer Art ones, I don't always get the messages over there.
There you go.
Geezerart.com. So it's geezerart.com. No, it's Geezer Art on YouTube. And I don't know if the geezerart.com is linked anymore.
No, I don't know.
Just go to RV Freda and leave a message.
There you go. Well, Freda, I'm going to stop it and wind it up here. And like I said, it was nice meeting her. I got to get back on the road because I've been here a week, and a week's about as long as I can take it anywhere.
And I'm going back to the hills. See ya.